This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Recently, the Court of Appeals has said that pit bulls should be treated differently than all other dogs. They've actually made a classification that pit bulls sit separate and apart from every other dog in our state. It's a recent case by the Court of Appeals. And before this case, all dogs in Maryland were treated equally. And all dogs in Maryland, the owner, to be liable, had to know that the dog had vicious propensities, that maybe the dog had bitten before, maybe the dog was violent. All other dogs in Maryland, you still have to show that. Now, according to the Court of Appeals, if you have a pit bull, pit bulls are now assumed to be inherently dangerous. So now the Court of Appeals has said, whereas with all other dogs you still have to prove what you used to prove, now with the pit bull you don't have to prove it. Just because you have a pit bull, now it's inherently dangerous. That is a far-reaching decision. Why? A lot of people are asking why the Court of Appeals, and how could the Court of Appeals make such a decision, make such a classification with respect to dogs? What gives them the right? The Court of Appeals did look at some statistics and which show that 1/3 of the fatalities in Maryland, and 1/3 across the United States, for dog bites come from this particular breed of dog. They also looked at the injuries themselves to people, and they found that the worst, much worse injuries actually are occurring in the pit bull type cases. That's the justification for the decision. What's next? I think there's going to be more litigation in our state with respect to pit bulls. Pit bull cases now, since you only have to show that it is a pit bull, if there's a bite, the plaintiff's lawyer is going to know under this case that the pit bull is considered inherently dangerous. If there's an injury, they're going to take those kind of cases. As a result, I think the legislature is going to have to do something. The legislature is going to have to do something, obviously, if the Court of Appeals is so inclined to believe pit bulls are so inherently dangerous, maybe to protect the people in the state with respect to pit bulls. But in all fairness to pit bull owners and pit bulls themselves, I think the state legislature has to look at this and say, really, are pit bulls themselves, is every single pit bull in the state really inherently dangerous? I'm not so sure. And I think that's a far-reaching opinion, and I think it might have gone a little too far.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.